right, who's in charge? Got anything, Gresh? Who's in charge of fashion today?
Fashion.
So you're playing a team that scores a lot of points, shoots a lot of threes. How do you prepare for that?
Well, Marshall, great offensive team. It's like watching a pro team when you watch their edits. I'm hoping it will help us execute better, showing how well they pass the ball and some of the things they do with their offense that we try to do. We're going to use some of their clips to show our guys, here's how you do it right. This stuff, some of the stuff we practice. That's how good they are on offense. They can really score. So
They can really shoot.
they can just score. They make, I think, 9.8 threes a game, which when you factor in, it's not a lot when you talk about they score 88 points. So they're only scoring 27 or 30 points a game at the three-point line. They get a lot of layups because they spread the floor well, because of their shooting and passing. I'm most impressed with their point guard and the way he orchestrates their offense. Elmore, he's just a very good player. I guess his dad was a great player at VMI. Larry told me. Larry's a lot older than me, so these are things that he would know that I wouldn't. He can shoot it, he can pass it. He just does a great job orchestrating their offense. Very good player. They're like watching the old Phoenix Suns with Steve Nash.
So it's not that they run that much, it's just the way they execute their offense, or both?
Both. I mean, they don't play slow by any stretch, but they do everything with speed and precision, which is why it works.
Sounds like a great challenge.
It's tremendous. It'll be a great challenge. Butch is going to hate me.
They also give up a lot of points too. So
Yeah, I mean, a couple of things. One, they're not the biggest team around. And their rebounding is a weakness. If you look at statistics, I think they're -6 a game. For a team to be -6 on the glass, usually they wouldn't be 7-4 with their winning record. It tells you how good they are on the offensive end. And that's, you sit there and say, well, coaches just make their opponents sound good. They're so good on offense that they're 7-4 despite getting out rebounded by 6 a game. They got out rebounded last night by West Virginia Wesleyan. But they rested a few guys and had minor injuries last night. Their lack of size is a problem for them at times. Ohio State's big guys had their way in that game. When you look at that game statistically, Ohio State's interior guys, one of them was 100% from the field. They had some guys 6 for 6, 8 for 8, 7 for 8.
So they able to handle Kyle Washington inside.
Yeah, well, I would say, a lot of people struggle to handle Kyle and Gary inside. And Trey's starting to produce, and the Sears getting better on the interior. Every game, no matter who we play, we try to make people have to deal with that. The fact that we can score inside, well, a lot of people just can't nowadays. So I would say that, obviously, that figures to be an advantage for us.
Kevin Johnson mentioned the other day, of course, he scored 18. It's taken him a while to get into a rhythm, and sometimes he does. What's the difference you've noticed beginning of the year until now with him?
Well, I think he's like any other guy that shoots perimeter shots. I think the law of averages comes into effect. Most kids in college basketball shoot between 30 and 40%. Some of them, like Farad Cobb, was shooting 50 early last year. You knew he was going to come back to earth at some time. Kevin started with a thing the Troys were struggling early. You knew that was going to change at some point. I just focus with these guys on defensive effort. And when it comes to taking shots, making sure they're taking open shots. And I'm a big believer, if you can get a layup and a free throw, you feel the ball going in the basket out of your hands, it's going to help your confidence. The basket seems to get a little bit bigger for you. It's hard to just live outside the line. So I try to preach to all of them that the layups and free throws will help you get going on the offensive end. Just focus on your defense and your hustle. You shouldn't even know whether you made a shot or not. You shouldn't know that you're 0 for 2 or 2 for 2. You should just worry about your defense. Kevin played so hard the other night. He's such a good athlete. I never saw him as tired as he was the other night. He never gets tired. He was playing so hard trying to smother FDU. That was our game plan. We're trying to practice smothering people with our defense. He was so bought into trying to smother them with his effort that he actually got tired. It's the first time I ever took him out in 4 years because he got tired.
Well, Gary got Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, I mean,
You think Kevin is?
at our banquet, Kevin Johnson was Defensive Player of the Year.
Is your best defensive player?
It's not even close. Now, Gary's extremely smart, and he led us in block shots. We're the best defensive team in the league. So if you're a coach voting, you learn that he led us in block shots. Coaches love him because he never takes a bad shot. He's got an unbelievable amount of class and integrity for a player. So coaches want to vote for Gary Clark for something. And he's a quiet good defender because he helps, he rotates, he blocks shots. But as far as perimeter defense, Kevin's his athleticism.
What would be a good, I'm sorry.
Go
What
ahead.
would be a good defensive number against these guys for you?
I don't know. I just want to. I want to win. I got a lot of Christmas shopping to do. Just got to make sure we get a win.
You mentioned there's Phoenix Suns teams. How much does Dan use from Mark's system?
I got to ask him that one.
Just can you tell watching on tape that's
Like I said, they look like the old Phoenix Suns.
so a lot then?
I would say if they look like the old Phoenix Suns, that was it because their point guard's so good. He orchestrates everything. Tremendous player. Really impressive. Really impressive.
Coach, can we talk about Quadri's progress, kind of what he can do to earn more minutes?
I think it's the same as I always said. Shot selection, he's got to improve. He's got to get his physicality on defense. And he's usually our best screener. He does understand how to get people open, and he's a willing screener. He's just in a battle with some guys playing well right now. Obviously, two all-league players, and Gary and Kyle, and Trey Scott's really playing well. Nasir's starting to come along as well.
You talked about this a little bit after probably fairly big of your offense. You're happy with the way it's coming along.
Well, we're shooting 49% from the field, so I think shot selection is improving, passing is improving, and we're starting to find a rhythm of playing together. You know, I mean, guys, we talk about like with Quadri's. Trey Scott understands the shots that he can make, that he should probably take, and that's, I think that's spreading around our team, and that's when you're going to shoot a higher percentage. And you're not just worried about scoring, you're worried about your team scoring. But more importantly, to be an effective player, as a coach, you should say, well, you know, do you allow him to shoot that shot? What you got to do as a coach is you got to get your guys to understand the shots that they're going to be able to make a high percentage of, and to look for those kind of shots. Now, I would say the biggest part is Troy. Now he had, because of the Texas Southern game and the FDU game, both teams being blowouts, I rested him late because he logs a lot of minutes. He's going to log a lot of minutes in January and February, but he's trying to be more of a scorer 15 feet in. I think that's going to help him, help our team. So it's just, but it's everybody trying to get guys to understand the shots that they can make a high percentage of. It's the hardest thing this day and age in basketball, because if a guy makes 1-3, he thinks he's a three-point shooter. And he might make 15 out of 100. That makes him a bad shooter. That's probably the biggest challenge offensively as a coach at any level, is to get guys to really realize the shots that they should be taking in a game, and the ones they can make a high percentage of. Those are getting to realize that is tough. But not with this team here is extremely mature. I've said that. We got a chance to have a really good team. We got to just make sure we're trying to get better.
Defensive rebounding, grades so far?
Getting better. You know, we force teams to miss a lot of shots. We're only getting up 36%. But I think in the crucial games, defensive rebounding is huge. The other thing it does is it starts your fast break. It's, you know, the beginning of the fast break is the defensive rebound. I think we like a lot of teams have a tendency to run to the rim. But we force a lot of perimeter jump shots. late in the shot clock, which equals a long rebound. So we have to really be cognizant of not rim running and making sure that we block out for the long rebound. It's something that we've started really working on and focusing on, and we got to continue.